Disney used to be the gold standard for theme parks in a lot of different things. But there's one major area where they're no longer it, but Silver Dollar City might be. Disney, at one point in time, established certain standards in the theme park industry, standards that everybody else wanted to achieve, that they modeled themselves after, that there were clinics and classes and books and everything all written about these standards that Disney had, but over the last decade have slipped. And you can see that they're no longer some of the goals, but you can see those same standards being upheld by other companies like Herchend Family Entertainment with Silver Dollar City and Dollywood. So what standards are those? Customer service, my friend. When you work at a theme park, they sum up customer service in various different ways. With Disney, it's the keys to the kingdom. In particular, in this instance, 3 of them. You've got safety, which is always number 1. But then behind that is courtesy and show. Courtesy is your customer service while still maintaining the show, the theming, the atmosphere. So that's how they would sum up. They would push the keys to the kingdom, always be courteous, always take care of your guests, always go above and beyond. At Silver Dollar City, their summation of it is memories worth repeating. You don't want to give a guest a bad experience. You want them to have a memory that they would want to have again. And even simple little things like some of the lingo. They're not customers, they're not patrons, they're guests. Here, we're inviting them into our place. We want to take care of them just as you would a guest in your home. And they're not the familiar family guests where you're going, yeah, there's the fridge, go get it yourself. It's, it is a guest that you want to wait upon and take care of, and you want them to have a wonderful, memorable time so that they want to come back and visit you again. Disney established the standards in theme park industry. When Walt established Disneyland, so much of what was out there were amusement parks with carnies, and the atmosphere was not great. The exceptions to that were rare. Even places like Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk and Coney Island and others, there was a bunch of carnival rides, and then you had ride operators. But it wasn't about theming, it wasn't necessarily atmosphere, and it wasn't creating this feeling that the guest was the ultimate important one. So when Disneyland opened, it was this incredibly trend-breaking and trend-setting deal with the way they treated the guests. Everybody else wanted to copy it. Disneyland became so popular in many ways because of that, as well as the theming in the park, that everybody was like, oh, we got to do this. We need to imitate this. And Disney really, not just in theme parks, but in business as a whole, established these new standards of customer service. Not necessarily the customer's always right, but we will always try to take care of the customer. And if there is a problem, we will do what we can to fix the problem, even if it's not something that's our fault. So if you went to Disney and you ripped your pants on something or you tore your shirt, Disney would replace it. Hey, let me give you something else. We're going to make sure that you don't have to leave the park. We're going to take care of you so you can stay here and have the best time possible. My daughter at one point on one of our visits had an issue and made a mess of her clothes. We had a cast member, no joke, must have spent 30 to 45 minutes tracking down some clothes in the park that would fit her so that we didn't have to leave. Calling other shops, what do you have? Calling outside of the park to some of the resorts. Do you have something that will fit her so that we can get her taken care of and let her go and continue her day? Just out of their way to take care of us. That was what we did at the time. They didn't do it because I was a cast member. She had no clue. She did it because she saw somebody that had a need. Okay, let me take care of you. You're not staying on property. We're going to get you taken care of. When I was working, if we saw somebody that had a problem, that's how we helped them. We showed them courtesy, whether it was replacing a popcorn and a drink that they had dropped on the ground. Um, if a kid scuffed their knee, okay, yes, we're going to take them to first aid, but we'll probably also throw in a plush to help make the kid's day. If somebody's pictures didn't come out, okay, we're going to retake those pictures. And if it's with a character, yeah, your picture didn't come out, we're going to walk you past the line and go make sure we get you a good picture. So things like that, above and beyond. Silver Dollar City still very much tries to emphasize that. But what's happened at Disney is their focus has gone away from that. You see, Walt had this idea that if you take care of the guest, if you make their day, if you treat them as you would want to be treated, they're going to come back and they're going to tell other people. I tell this story all the time that Marty Sklar made the very first souvenir book for Disneyland. And as he's putting it together, he's realizing they're really not going to make a profit on this book. And, the point obviously is to make money. So he goes to Walt and says, Walt, we're going to be charging 25 cents for this book. It's going to cost us 24 cents to put it into the park and in front of them. We're not going to be making profit. We're making a penny. And Walt said, leave the price as it is. We might not make the profit there, but we will when they put it on their coffee table and other people see it and they share their memories. And all of a sudden we've won more families who are going to come visit because we didn't make a profit here. Disney had learned that when you don't emphasize profit, but you emphasize courtesy and the guest, that your profit comes in because word of mouth is powerful. Instead, over the last 10 years or so, they've really gone to penny pinching, and they focused far more on that. And I tell the story of when I was at Disneyland with my friend, and he ripped his shorts on Space Mountain. Got out, caught the back of his shorts, ripped a hole in them, and the park as a collective whole went, too bad, Target's down the street. As a former CM, I'm a little embarrassed by Disney right now. So my friend that's with us ripped his shorts getting off of Space Mountain. Pretty good hole, pockets coming out. Little on the iffy side there. And so we came up to City Hall to explain the problem. Hey, is there a place in the park that has some shorts or pants available or something, or some way to cover up? And their response was, well, you can look in the Emporium. They may have some shorts, but oh well, so sorry. Nobody can help you here. What? Just a complete 180 from what Disney used to do, and far from alone. Yes, there are people that have taken advantage of the Disney standard, but that's not, they should be the exceptions. And yeah, okay, if you're trying to take advantage, fine. Use a little wisdom in there. Err on the side of taking care of the guest. But we had to buy a long shirt. They wouldn't even give him a shirt to cover. Like I said, collective, we went through guest relations, merchandise, a merchandise manager. It was really, as a former cast member, very irritating because they weren't going to take care of the guests. You're actually going to tell your guest, oh, you got a problem? Go leave, and then if you want to come back later. Especially when your guests just spent over $100 just to walk in the gate. Yeah, never would have happened when I was there. Silver Dollar City hasn't forgotten that. I still remember when we had one guest. They slipped, they fell, they face planted. Gave themselves a bloody nose. Stuff happens, okay? But bloody nose, they're bleeding, they got some on their shirt. And in the process of taking care of that guest, a gentleman, and then his family was there. Hey, okay, you slipped and fell. It's not our fault. We didn't make you fall. You just tripped. But we're going to get you another shirt so you're not walking around with blood on your shirt all day. We're going to get you a meal because you missed the ride. We're going to get you on the next ride. After we make sure you're taken care of. So they went up to first aid, then they came back down, walked them through the exit when the train came in, so they were first ones on to make sure they got on it. New shirt, plus they gave him a meal. Hey, you know what? We're so sorry you got hurt. Have some extras on. This used to be what Disney did. When we were at Disneyland Paris years ago, they'd had an issue with the pricing where the website said that the tickets that we bought were supposed to be one price, and we get to the gate and they're charging us an increased price. Well, the website still said one. So we went to guest relations and said, look, here's what we're supposed to be paying. Here's what they just charged us. And they gave us not only the money back, but we got a special pass that allowed us to skip the lines, kind of a precursor of what Genie Plus does. They took care of us. Oh man, that's a mistake. We're so sorry. Here you go. And that was, again, something happens, whether it's their fault or not, we're going to take care of you and make you walk away. So you're going, dude, that was amazing. They went above and beyond. I'm going to come back and I'm going to spend more money here. Because when we're happy with what somebody does, we spend more. If I see somebody go out of their way to do something, I will spend extra. I'll break my budget if I see somebody do something that they don't have to do. Disney anymore, I'm kind of like, all right, I got my budget. I'm watching it. And I feel bad for the cast members, because a lot of the cast members are still fantastic workers, but you can see that they've had some of that power to do stuff taken away. You can see they've had some of the training to do stuff taken away. And they're kind of stuck. And they're the ones that have to deal with the front line. When you get an upset guest, it's the cast member who has to deal with that. But Disney's no longer the gold standard, and is finally catching up to them. Between the increased cost, the higher admission, the higher cost for hotels, the higher cost for everything, and getting less for it, and like I said, losing those little things. Well, guess what? There was an article out that said, oh no, Disney realizes that they might be in trouble in the theme parks, and that they may have outpriced what people are willing to pay, especially when they're not getting the customer service. I love Silver Dollar City. I can go and they're still above and beyond. Yeah, there's things they don't do if you try to take advantage of it. But when we've had something happen, they have always tried to make up for it. And I don't mean just because, okay, I'm some YouTuber that people know in the park. Some of them know me. A lot of them don't. And I can tell you in all honesty, when I have had stuff happen and I've kind of went, hey, this didn't quite work. The people I've been dealing with, if they knew me, they certainly didn't give any indication that they did. It's still the standards that are there. I love being able to go to Silver Dollar City because I know they're going to take care of me and the people around me. I still love going to Disney, but I don't spend there like I used to. I save it for my Silver Dollar City trips. That is when I get somebody to treat me to Disney, because I can't afford it. But Silver Dollar City I can still afford. It's just kind of a sad statement that they have forgotten the inspiration and the foundation of what they were built on. Walt built Disneyland because he would go to an amusement park, actually the park nearby. His kids would ride the carousel, but outside of that, there wasn't anything for him to ride with his kids. And he didn't like the standards of customer service that was given. Two big time inspirations for Disneyland, and they've been forgotten. I love that Silver Dollar City and Dollywood and Herchend still remember those things. I love that there's other parks out there like Knoebels and Holiday World and others that still remember those things. But isn't it sad when Disney is no longer the standard, but that other companies are and have taken over that role because they've forgotten? So what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Are we showing that same courtesy out in public? I'm not just as employees, but just to our neighbor. I'd encourage you. Remember that. Treat other people how you want to be treated. In park, out of park. We've got so much turmoil going on. Can I encourage you? Show a little love, courtesy, grace, and kindness to those around you. They go a long ways. A long ways. Don't let them scare you off just because they're different. They're people just like you. Just with little creative differences. Thank you so incredibly much for watching. Please share your comments below. Do you agree with me about Disney and the other companies? I'd love to hear it. Thank you so much to my patrons, my supporters for making this possible. If you want to know more about the behind the scenes stuff and everything, please check the links below. Check that description. There's a ton of info. Thank you so incredibly much for watching. God bless. My daughter, at one point, Teams. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts, your comments, your suggestions, your ideas. Be sure to share them in the comments below, or you can contact me. There's information in the description that has my email address, fan pages, information about merchandise, and so much more. So be sure to check that out. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and if you haven't already, hit the button right up there to subscribe. And in fact, if you did enjoy this, I've even got another video for you right here. And also about these wonderful people here, those are my YouTube members and my patrons, the ones whose financial support makes this possible. I couldn't do it without them. If you want to know more about that and the perks that come with it, well, be sure to check the description. There's a link right down there. Thank you so incredibly much. God bless.